Yashodanandana Brajajana Yashodanandana Brajajana Yashodanandana Brajajana Natira Vanaka Natira Natira Vanaka Jaya Radha Madhava Jabihari Radha Madhava Jabihari Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradha Jaya Gopi Jana Ballabha Girivaradha Yashodanandana Brajajana Brajajana Iravanata Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Madhava Jaya Radha Giridhari Giridhari Jaya Radha Giridhari Giridhari Jaya Radha Govinda Govinda Jaya Radha Govinda Govinda Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Sri Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Sri Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Nitagora Haribo 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 Nitagora Haribo Nitagora Haribo 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 Nitagora Haribo Jai Shri Radha Madhava ki Jai Shri Radha Govind ki Jai Shri Radha Giridhari ki Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Excuse me, my throat is not good today. My voice might get stuck up, so somebody need to carry on. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everyone. Today's reading is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, titled The Creation of the Fourth Order. In chapter 13, description of the descendants of Dhruv Maharaj, text 6 and 7. A dialogue between Maitreya and then Maitreya, and who's that?
Vidura.
Vidura, yeah, sorry. Maitreya Vacha Dhruvasya Chotakala Putra Pitrai Paristite Vanam Sarvabhauma Shitayani Naichida Adi Raja Sanam Pitu Maitreya Vacha Dhruvasya Chotakala Putra Pitrari Paristite Vanam Sarvabhauma Shriyam Naichita Adi Raja Sanam Pitu. Somebody else, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Maitra Uvacha Dhruvasya Chautkala Putra Pitari Prastite Vanam Sarvabhauma Shriyam Nosyad Adiraja Asanam Pituhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, go ahead.
I'm also trying. Maitreya Uvacha Dhruvasya Chautkalaha Putraha Pitari Prastite Vanam Sarvabhauma Sriyam Naichad Adhiraja Shanam Pituhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Maitreya Uvacha Dhruvasya Chotkalaha Putraha Pitori Prastite Vanam Sarvabhauma Sriyam Noichad Odhiraja Shanam Pituhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Somebody else, please. Who else is?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm trying.
Good.
Maitreya Uvacha. The
Oh,
space.
sorry. What happened? Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, where did I go? Where is this?
I'm just opening the. Oh.
I hope I'm in the same chapter. Yeah. There.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Text 6. Maitreya Uvacha Dhruvasya Chatkala Putra Pitori Prasthite Vanam Sarvabhauma Sriyam Naichadhira Yashanam Pitu.
Thank you. Somebody else, please.
Maitreya Uvacha Dhruvasya Chodkala Putra Pitari Prashtite Vanam Sarvabhauma Shriyam Naichat Adhiraja Sanam Pitu.
Yeah. I was trying to check who are with us today, and I pressed the wrong button. Nandbraj Prabhu, welcome back. Is he there?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, let's carry on. Synonyms. Maitreya Vacha, the great sage Maitreya said, Dhruvasya, of Dhruv Maharaj, Cha also, Utkala, Putra, let me get this out of my way, son, Pitari, after the father, Pitri, sorry, not Pitari, Pitri, after the father, Prasthite, departed, Vanam, for the forest, Sarva Sarva Bhauma, including all lands, Sriyam, opulence, Na Aichat, did not desire, Adhiraja, royal, Asanam, throne, Pitu of the father. Translation. The great sage Maitreya said, my dear Vidur, when Maharaj Dhruv departed for the forest, his son Utkal did not desire to accept the opulent throne of his father, which was meant for the ruler of all the lands of the planet. Go on to text 7 and then we see what I can talk about. Sa janama anupashyantam, Sa janam anupashyantam atma nisara samadarshana darshaloke vitatma atmanam lokam atmani. Sa janma anupashyantatma nisra samadarshana darshaloke vitatmatmana lokam atmani. Somebody else, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavata Pranam. Text 7. Sajanmano upasana atma nishanga samadarshana dadarsha loke vitatam atmanam lokam atmani. Hare Krishna.
Somebody else, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I am also trying.
Yeah.
Sajanmano pashantatma nishara samadarshana. No, sorry, nishango, but here it is nishara. It is wrongly written here.
Nisara.
Nishango. It is a nishango, Prabhuji. It should be nishango. Anyway, it is nishango samadarshana dadarsha loke pitatam atmanam lokam atmani. Prabhuji, in your it is showing nishara, but it should be nishango. In the book it is written nishango.
All right, blame the computer.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Sajanmano
So yeah.
Atma Nishango Samadarshanaha Tadarsha Loke Vitotam Atmanam Lokam Atmani. Hare Krishna.
Somebody else, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavata Pranam.
Dandavata Pranam.
Sajanmano pashatatma nishanga samadarshana dadrashe loke vitatam atmanam lokam atmani.
Somebody else, please.
Janmano Ashantatma Nisandra Samadarshana Tadarsha Vitatam Atmanam.
Lokam Atmani. Have I lost you?
Sorry, Prabhu.
Can you repeat, please? We lost you.
Pashantatma Nisandra Samadarshana Tadarsha Atmanam Lokam Atmani.
Good, thank you. Hello, everyone. Somebody else, please. No. I'll read from my book because the words are a bit different. Saha is son Utkal Janmana from the very beginning of his birth. Prashanta, very well satisfied. Atma, soul. Nisanga, without attachment. Samadarshana, equipoise. The darsha, so loke in the world. With vitatam, spread. Atmanam, the super soul. Lokam, all the world. Atmani, in the super soul. I hope the translation is the same. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. La Prabhupada ki jai. From his very birth, Utkal was fully satisfied and unattached to the world. He was equipped for, he could see everything resting in the super soul and the super soul present in everyone's heart. Purport, the symptoms and characteristics of Utkal, the son of Maharaj Dhruv. Are those of a Mahabhagavat, as is stated in Bhagavad Gita 6:30, Yo mam pashyati sarvam sarvatra sarvam chai mahi pashyati. A highly advanced devotee sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead everywhere, and he also sees everything resting in the Supreme. It is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.4, Maya tatav midam sarvam jagata vekte murtina. Lord Krishna is spread all over the universe in his impersonal feature. Everything is resting on him, but that does not mean that everything is he himself. A highly advanced Mahabhagavat devotee sees in this spirit. He sees the same super soul Paramatma existing within everyone's heart, regardless of discrimination based on the different material forms of the living entity. He sees everyone as part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Mahabhagavat, who experienced the Supreme Godhead's presence everywhere, is never missing from the sight of the Supreme Lord, nor is the Supreme Lord ever lost from his sight. This is possible only when one is advanced in love of Godhead. Namah Vishnu Padai Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Lokanath Swami Iti Namne Namah Vishnu Padai Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharane Nirvisesi Sunyavani Paschatya Desata. Yeah, was somebody saying something? So it's the beginning of the dynasty or the descendants of Dhruv Maharaj. The first one, Maitreya describes about his eldest son, who refused to take up the throne after Dhruv Maharaj. When Dhruv Maharaj was leaving for the forest, was taking sannyas, retiring from ruling. As the practice was those days, even now in many parts, the eldest son was supposed to take the responsibility of the dynasty, of the kingdom. But Utkal refused to, simply because he wasn't interested in anything material. He was, well, Mahabhagavat, he was above the material things. And here, Srila Prabhupada describes the characteristics of Mahabhagavat. Mahabhagavat is a person who experienced Supreme Godhead in everyone's presence, regardless what form, what body the person is, whether him, not just human beings, but in of all the animals, plants, and everything. So that was the characteristics of Utkal. There's not much to talk about the descendants in chapter in verse 6 or 7 text, and I don't want to go into the rest of it because that won't be fair on those people coming after me. But I'll go back to discuss the characteristics of Dhruv Maharaj. And once again, I would like to discuss it. I'm not going to just speak myself, discuss what is so important, so fascinating, or that this particular characteristic of Dhruv Maharaj intelligence, we should realize the importance of it, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Puri, he had this pastime 100 times. And if you look at it here in the Srimad Bhagavatam, what he does is that his stepmother refuses to let him sit on his father's lap, and comments that if you want to sit on your father's lap or the throne, because the father was sitting on the throne, if you want to sit on your father's lap or the throne, you have to be born from my womb. And in order to do that, she also commented that if you want to, in order to that, you have to be reborn from my womb. And to do that, you have to go and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But she made her own conclusion that if you worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you'll come back through her womb. Remember, if you are successful in the worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead, you escape from the cycle of repeated birth and death. And here she is concluding that Dhruv Maharaj could maybe reborn and thus qualified to sit on his father's throne. Last time I mentioned about the demigods trying to disturb or distract him from his tapasya, from his prayers. They tried everything. It is actually mentioned in Vishnu Puran. I managed to find the text. And there are many incidents whenever somebody is doing some severe austerities, the demigod, particularly Indra, gets worried that this particular person is after my throne, my position. Remember, the position of Indra that's the position, it's not a personality, it's the king of the demigod, and it keeps changing like any kingdom. Any king, they keep changing. So if Indra's position or the king of the demigods keeps changing, they try to disturb him, distract him. And they came there. One of them took the form of Suniti, and she was crying there in front of this. Remember, this is the demigods trying to, it's not the real Suniti. The demigods taking form of Suniti and crying in presence of Dhruv Maharaj, pleading with him to stop this, because that's not the age where I should be doing such severe austerities. He should go back, and this is the time to play, like Narad Muni has told him, time to go back and play. And you are my only dependent. I've got nowhere. You know your father doesn't care about me. Your stepmother insults me all the time, and I have only you to be consoled by, and you are here doing all this tapasya at this tender age. But he wasn't bothered, did not disturb him at all. Then she started, or the demigod started screaming, run away, run away. The demigod was that demons are coming. And they came in all sorts of forms, fearsome forms, and trying to devour Dhruva Maharaj, but they never touched him. This is the good part, that when somebody is doing or worshipping the Lord, though they try, they want to disturb, but they don't ever dare touch the person because they know he's protected by the Supreme Person. But that too did not disturb Dhruva Maharaj. In one of the kalpas, in this one, in the Bhagavatam, Dhruva Maharaj, when he meets Narad Rishi on the way, but in another kalpa, he meets the Saptarishi, the 7 sages. And the same dialogue goes through. They test him first, and then each of them tell him, then they advise him, because when they see how determined, just like Narad Muni, how determined Dhruva was, they then advise him what to do. Dhruva Maharaj, the Lord gave him benediction. After 36 years of ruling, he was given his own planet. Normally, the demigods, they live for one Chatur Yuga. There's one Chatur Yuga, the four yugas put together. Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali Yuga. So that's one Chatur Yuga. So most of the demigods live for that long. That's 4.3 million years, something like that. And some live for one manvanta. That's manvanta is 71 yuga cycles, the 71 cycles of the 4 yugas. But Dhruva Maharaj was given the blessing that he will be live for one kalpa, that is one whole day of Brahma. And Brahma's one day is 1,000 yugas, 1,000 yuga cycles, 1,000 times the 4 yugas. Now I want to hear about why this is so fascinating or important, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had 100 times. We had some discussion. There are some other things that let's discuss, because otherwise I have nothing else to say. Okay, somebody please. What are some of the characteristics of Dhruva Maharaj?
One of the characters is very, very determined.
Yeah.
Extremely determined. He did not give up.
Yeah, the incident I just mentioned, that though the demigods tried to disturb him, distract him, he wasn't disturbed. Dhruv means unbreakable. That's the Sanskrit word Dhruv, which means unbreakable or very firm in his determination. What was he determined about? Yeah, just unmute, whoever wants to talk, just unmute and
Determined to see the Lord, determined to take the darshan of the Lord.
yeah. Yeah, that was the main thing. Remember when he came to his mother after they each cried about it, and then the mother said, yeah, whatever your stepmother has said is true. We should not feel bad about the things that your stepmother has said, because it is our own, the fruits of our own past deeds. Those, the Uttam and his mother, Suruchi, must have performed a lot of charitable things, a good work, pious this in their life, past lifetime. That's why they are favorite of the king. And we, you and me, must have done lots of sinful things, or at least have not performed pious activities like the other Uttam and his mother has done. That's why we are suffering and don't have that privilege. So it's not anybody else's fault, but it is our own lack of what we had done in the past. And he or she, told him that you need to go and see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, pray to him. And did Suniti or Dhruv Maharaj knew who was Supreme Personality of Godhead and where to find him or how to find him? Anyone?
I think Suniti knew, right, Prabhu, because she told Dhruv Maharaj to look for the Lord in the jungle.
Still master also told Narada Muni.
Yeah, Prabhu. Poshak Prabhu. I missed you.
Narada Muni also advised him.
No, before going out of this is the dialogue between mother and the son.
His mother advised him. Suniti mother advised him.
Can't hear properly, please.
Something wrong at our end. I think his mother advised him to go to the forest.
Yeah, but did she know where in the forest?
No, she did not.
No. See, what happened here, or what is the situation there? Neither the mother nor Dhruv Maharaj, well, Dhruv Maharaj is just 5 years old, so we can expect that him not having any knowledge about it. The mother too did not know that when Dhruv Maharaj asked her, she said, well, I have seen sages, or I had not seen. I've had sages go out in the jungle to pray for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All she knew was that Dhruv's great-grandfather, Brahma, this is what she mentioned there, that your great-grandfather had prayed or worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and through his blessing that he is doing all the creation. And your grandfather also did it. So that's all she knew about that if you go and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if you find him, these two, in your the dynasty, they have achieved this, got the blessings from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they are successful. And definitely you will also, once you meet the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you will also succeed in what you are, what you want to achieve. This highlights and Dhruv Maharaj just walks out of the house without any preparation. Even the mother doesn't worry about any preparation, where to go. All she said, I've seen sages or heard sages going out in the jungle. They saw the simplicity of both Dhruv Maharaj and the mother. As a 5-year-old, we know how simple our kids are that young. Whatever the mother or the parents tell them, they believe it. Typical of the kids. If like if you have been living in the village area, the mothers, it's open, there's no fence or anything, the mothers to keep the kids inside in their sight, tell them not to venture away from the house, otherwise there's someone demon or some character will come and take them away. And the child believes in it, doesn't question the mother. Similarly here, Dhruv doesn't question his mother. Where can I find gold? What does Dhruv, neither of them know what does the Supreme Personality look like, or any mantras, what mantras to chant or to attract the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the mother said, go and look, find the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Dhruv Maharaj walks out of the house. He never questioned the mother any further. Well, he asked her, where do I find him? The mother said, ahead. The sages go in the forest. So the message for us here is that we as devotees should have our consciousness should be like Dhruv Maharaj. Simplicity enables us to follow the Guru and Shastras. Like, for example, if you have got soft, you're doing gardening, we dig up the soil because we want our plants to grow easily faster. And the soil is soft, it's easier for the roots to grow. Similarly, if we are our character, our mind is simple, then it will enable us to follow our Guru's instructions. Many times Gurus, again there, when we're looking back at Dhruv Maharaj, Narad instructed him where to go, how to find. He just followed, particularly the mother told him to go in the forest and you'll find this Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dhruv Maharaj left. That should be the simplest, our simplicity, and we can achieve in our devotional service. People's simplicity makes sadhus give us giving is easily. Remember when he goes there, meets Narad Rishi, Narad tries to dissuade him, who told him to go back, and 5-year-old. What sort of guru is Narad Rishi? Is telling 5-year-old to go in the forest? And I mean, these days, we don't even, gurus don't even consider or normally don't initiate kids. But here, Narad initiated or sort of directed Dhruv Maharaj and sent him to Madhuban and gave him the mantras and instructed him about the ways in which he should go about doing his meditation. What did Dhruv Maharaj leave home with? Nothing. He did not even know where to look or where for God and what does it looks like. He didn't take any food or clothing or change or nothing. And he just, remember, he was a prince. Going in the jungle, there's animals, but no consideration about his security and well-being. So this one character stands out of Dhruv Maharaj, the simplicity, simple. And we have experienced that simplicity draws everyone or attracts everyone. Like they are simple and easygoing people, we are all attracted to. Of course, in the material world, people take advantage of simple people, but I'm talking about in the devotional services, in when dealing with fellow devotees. Here, simplicity By simplicity, I mean following instructions of the Guru and Sadhu with unflinching faith. A Guru tells you something, you don't question. I mean, you question for clarification, but no doubt about it. For example, the mother told Guru Maharaj, go look for Supreme Personality of Godhead, gave two examples. Your great-grandfather succeeded when he worshipped the Supreme Personality by his blessing. He has created, he's creating all the world. And your grandfather, he was so successful. So just two examples. And he left, did not even ask, where should I go, what to take? No, he just left, not worried about the outcome, just do it. And this is what I mean by simplicity in the devotional services. We don't worry about the outcome. Even Lord Krishna says, you do your karma, your act. Don't worry about the outcome, the fruit of your act. And that simplicity attracted Narad Rishi. And the Lord himself, remember, in just 6 months, you look at the history of our sages. They have been austerities for thousands of years. Like Valmiki did tapasya for 60,000 years. And you other rishis too, you're going back on the Drus at the beginning of the creation, the people have gone and did austerities for thousands of years. But here in Dhruv succeeded in just 6 months, simply because of his simplicity. The Lord was attracted to his simpleness and came and gave darshan. So what I'm trying to say that here is that we should also cultivate such characteristics as Guru Maharaj. Just follow the Guru's instruction. No one is higher than Guru. Of course, you will conscious that the Supreme Lord is the Supreme, but it's through the Guru that we get this Supreme Lord. We can approach the Supreme Lord. The Guru tells us or shows us the way to that Lord. For Bhagavad Prapti, for achieving the Supreme Personality, to get the Lord, Guru is more exalted than Hari. Hari se bhi bada Guru. Guru is higher than. In this case, for a disciple, Guru is more exalted than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whoever the Lord loves, remember this incident, because the Lord loves his disciple, his devotees. And our Guru are exalted devotees. So the Lord loves, like the common incidents of people quote that if you want to love, approach the master, you go through the dog. You pet the dog and love the dog, and naturally you'll be attracted to the master of the dog. And similarly here, we want to approach the master, we approach the dog of the master, the Guru. For a real disciple, no one should be above the spiritual master. I pity those people who don't realize this and don't associate with their spiritual masters. For us, we should be, no one is like my spiritual master. That means that doesn't mean that you disrespect other gurus. Remember, I'm sure that my guru also told me that you show the same respect to my God brothers as you are showing me. So I'm sure the other gurus must have told you, and I've seen examples that people respect sannyasis or other gurus similar to what they do to their own gurus. Dhruva was proud of his mother. Remember, when Dhruva Maharaj was leaving this world, the Vishnu Duttas came with the airplane to take him away. He stopped and questioned that, where's my mother? Because through his mother, he achieved whatever he achieved. It was the instruction of his mother that led him to find the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he didn't want to leave his mother. And it is said, I've read in the Vishnu Puran, that mother is still with, I mean, not in the same planet, but the same position in a viman or in an airplane in the same level as Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva was proud, just like a soldier is proud to be representing his or her country. He knows that he will be killed, but he just wants to defend his country without question, without second thought of, if I go on the border or go on the battlefield, it's more than likely that I'll be killed, but no, he's proud to be a soldier represent his country. Similarly, look at Dhruva Maharaj. The mother said, go in the jungle, find the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He just left, regardless of, he didn't stop there and pack up his bag, his clothing, or made any arrangement for his food. He just left. The rest of it was. And if we are simple, the example, the teaching here is that if we are simple and depend on the Supreme Personality, his supplies, his arrangements are perfect. And that's what he did. He went through the forest right from to Madhuban. He wasn't attracted by any of the animals, even when he's for 6 months where he was in Madhuban. Madhuban wasn't like that, or today's Madhuban. There were many animals around the place, and he wasn't bothered by any of the animals there, because who was protecting him? He didn't have his, the father did not send any soldiers to protect him, give him a 24-hour protection. No, he was just by himself. And who do you think protected him? So I'm asking you, are you proud of being a devotee? Are you proud of being a follower of Srila Prabhupada, like Dhruva Maharaj and the soldiers in the army? Are you proud of whoever is your guru? For example, a lot of you in the class of disciples of His Holiness B. Krishna Goswami. The question is, are you proud of him? And look at the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Look at like Krishna Goswami, how proud he is of Srila Prabhupada. And look at his god brothers. Of course, the ones who are still in ISKCON, how proud they are of being disciples of Srila Prabhupada. One other question I want to put here is, we take initiation, but we don't go and leave home and go to the temple. We do all the worship at home. Why didn't Dhruv Maharaj do similarly, do his devotional service at home? Why did he go out in the forest? Somebody please, hope you people are with me. I'm not just talking to myself.
Because his mother ordered him, Prabhu. His mother advised him to go to the forest.
Exactly, that's what I've been saying. The mother said, go in the forest, and he just left. He didn't even know that the mother could have also advised him, oh, you can do all these devotional service here at the home. I'll make all the arrangement. But no, the mother said, go in the forest, and just left. But he could have, what could have been the disadvantage if Dhruv Maharaj had stayed home and done the tapasya at home? Any contribution, please?
I think the situation at home wasn't very amenable for devotional service because the stepmother was envious. So I don't think he would have been able to carry out tapasya or service at home.
Yeah, but yeah, that's possible. And remember, they have different palaces or home. Suppose if we think they had a separate house, what could have been the disadvantage of doing the same thing at home?
You might not have met Narad Muni.
Yeah, there's no possibility that he would have met Narad Muni or a guru to advise him further. Because remember, he didn't know anything. The mother also did not know anything. Now, even though, suppose the mother could have advised him how to do his devotional service at home, what could have been the disadvantage? Hello, anyone? We all living at home. We experience the advantages and disadvantages. So contribute, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the most important thing is the association. We miss the association. That is what reflects us. And we don't get the favorable condition to discharge our devotional service. So once we go to the temple, associate with the devotee, that makes the situation favorable for us to proceed for devotional service. And we will get all the information, so and so.
Yeah. Anybody else? Yes,
Depend on the situation, Prabhu, individual situation. Dhruva's situation
I'm
was
talking about Dhruv Maharaj, not our own situation.
Dhruva's situation was not
that
conducive.
needed some contribution from you guys that could have been disadvantage of Dhruv Maharaj if he stayed at home and did what he did in the forest.
There was a lot of quarrel and fighting, all that at home. It was a lot of disturbance, very disturbed atmosphere.
Yeah, disturbance. What else? Something very striking, it stands out. I'm sure you know that. All of you are listening, have been going through this, for last 6 months, at least.
At home, there are a lot of distractions. I mean, your attachment to parents, palace, servants. So you can do like one point at service he was doing in the forest.
Yeah. There's something more I'm trying to get out of you people.
Yeah. At home, because you are a prince, so your material attachment will not leave you. But since you left your home, So that material attachment is slowly going away. So that is the way how you can leave your attachment behind.
Yeah, when Dhruva, when Narad Muni told him to go to Madhuban and do all the rituals, he said, have bathed every 3 times a day and do this. And when he started his couple of things that stands out about Dhuru Maharaj's character. You know it, I'm sure you've been going through this classes.
Purification process.
Yeah, Prabhu?
Purification. So when you are away from purification,
It's much simpler than that. You're going away from the... So one thing I mentioned, and other thing, Nand Braj Prabhu had mentioned right at the beginning, and that's one I mentioned. What did Nand Braj Prabhu say about Dhruva Maharaj right at the beginning?
Is
Determined.
Determination, yes, that's number one. What was I talking about?
Is simplicity to follow the instructions.
Simplicity to follow the Guru's instruction. Yes, the third one.
Unflinching faith on the words of the spiritual master.
Yeah. Follow the simplicity. Actually, simplicity means following the instructions with unflinching faith. And one more thing, which would not have been possible if he had stayed home.
Would not have get Narad Muni as his spiritual master.
Complete dependence on the Lord.
Right, Prabhu. That's what I was waiting for. Complete dependence on the Supreme Personality. Did not take anything from home, didn't know where to go, and no food, no change of clothing, nothing. And they were never worried about the security of the animals around the place. And that's another feature of the simplicity. Complete dependence on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever happens, if he wants to kill you or get killed, he will do that. If he is going to decide that he's going to protect you, he will do that. And if that is the highlight of this whole thing. If you're completely dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he makes all the arrangements, and his arrangements, as I also mentioned earlier, is perfect. Nobody, even the demigods, tried all sorts of tricks to distract him. He wasn't actually there. Got scared and run away. He was worshiping the Supreme Personality of God, and the Lord could punish them, and they ran away from there. Complete dependence on the Supreme Personality of God. That whatever, didn't bother about whether he's going to be successful or not, what will happen. The animals, remember, we are talking about earlier days, animals from Kanpur to Vrindavan, going through the forest. Narad Muni did not go with him, didn't accompany him. He was a 5-year-old child. Can you imagine how much dependent he wants? So let me sum up with the simplicity, unflinching faith in the Guru, and 100% dependent on the Supreme Personality of God. This is what led to the success of Dhruva Maharaj's venture. Anybody wants to add a bit more? It's not that I knew everything, but I'm sure you must have your own realization. This was my realization, so I thought of sharing with you people. Anybody else want to share something? Please unmute and come in. Poshak Prabhu, do I have to call out?
So devotees, anybody, if any of you have any comments and something to add and questions, then please ask the Prabhu and speak about.
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji,
Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. You have opened up everything, so I don't see any question from my side because you have highlighted the point, the pinpoint, the important, very important point, which is comes on the dependency on the Supreme Lord. So, and then simplicity, following the instructions. So all those are the characteristics should be of the devotees to be successful in their journey of spiritual life. So from me, I find no question. Thank you, Prabhuji. These are the highlights you have already discussed. Very, very important point.
Poshak Madhav, you want to say something, Prabhu?
No, it's you have covered the main the key points, the summary of the Dhruva Maharaj's characteristics so nicely, Prabhu. No, thank you for that. And in a very, very engaging manner, you have covered the key characteristics of a devotee. So it's very nice, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Nandbraj Prabhu, you wanted to say something.
I was going to say the same thing, Poshak Prabhuji, because they have covered the key points very nicely and main takeaways, and that's quite sufficient for this episode. Very nicely covered, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, and everybody for so patiently listening. I would try to engage more next time because that's my style of giving class. Otherwise, I feel lonely because I don't see anybody. So at times I'm wondering whether anybody is still with me or gone away.
Prabhuji, you have nicely explained, and also at the end, you have nicely briefed up the points the devotee should have: unflinching faith in the Lord, and simplicity, and faith on the Guru, and all this you have already explained. So I think you have
Just
done.
touched one point, Prabhu, unflinching faith in the Guru, not the Supreme Lord, because we don't have access to the Lord. We have access to the Guru, not the Lord. Because through the Guru will hopefully, that's what the Guru said you'll find, like Srila Prabhupada used to say, I have the key to the back door. And his disciples did not question him how the Lord got a back door. It is about, but unflinching faith in the Guru's instructions. We have no ability to approach even approach the Supreme Personality, leave alone getting him. So these are the characteristics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dhruva Maharaj, because once I heard that Lord Chaitanya, I heard this past time 100 times. The question came into my mind: what is so important about it? The more you hear sannyasis discourse on this topic, the more you learn about Dhruva Maharaj's character. These are not my only, I just simply got it from other sannyasis classes, the summary of what I picked up from other classes. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
His
you.
Grace, Rasparayan Prabhu ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki Gaur Bhakti Gaur Prem Hari Bol, Pancha Kalpatru Vaisya,
Vatarvasya Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanam Vaishnavyo Namo Namo Vishnu Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Radha Giridhari ki jai.
Gaur Prem Hari Bol.
Haribo.